That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, everybody, to a happy 4th of July / put it in reverse Terry edition of the Always Irish Show. The video is always going to crack me up. It's never going to get old. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just type in anywhere on the internet, put it in reverse Terry, and you'll see what I mean. I'll never get over it. It's hilarious. Welcome in. Welcome back. So it's going to be a weird situation today because I feel like because the holidays tomorrow, a lot of people have off today, so they're going to be going and doing their thing or whatever. Let's have just like a nice, short, tight show, and then everybody could go on with their 4th. Good to see the morning crowd here. It is. I got to tell you, the maturity level of this chat, it keeps me going, man. By maturity level, I should say lack of thereof, right? But like, it just cracks me up. You guys keep me going, and I'm telling you, like I've been saying for years and years and years, by the time you get to 4th of July, you've made it. I always tell you guys, that is my marking point. If you could get to 4th of July without losing your football ever-living mind, you could drink a cold one, look up at the works of fire, and tell yourself, a few more weeks and Notre Dame football is back. And then we grind through August, and you know how it is. You'll do the every single report from the 10-minute window that the legacy guys get to see, and they do their report, and it's like, oh, this guy caught a pass, and you're like, that guy's going to be the man this year. I told you. Like it's just interesting. So I just can't wait to get there. The next phase of this, where we hang on every single practice report from August, just to get a little piece, of the action. So we're almost there. So we're going to have a nice little show here, and everybody could go on again, do what they're going to do. I got 2 things I want to talk about specifically, and we'll get into this. So thanks for being here. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it. Share the video with the Notre Dame friend that isn't in this ecosystem yet. Notifications on that way you're alerted every time a guy decommits from Notre Dame after 6 days. You'll be alerted. Like, I don't know what to say. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. But it's very, very, very interesting, weird dynamic here with Trey. We'll get into that. So something on the bad side, something on the good side, and we'll get out of here. Go on with your day. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you can get it. If you don't want to see my stupid face, nobody blames you for that. Emails always irishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. I already did that. Notre Dame on SI. Read all about it. Article for you every single day of your life. Every day of your life. Man, we have a good time over there. Momentum's building. People's energy starting to come back up. With the football and the vibes. It's bubbling right now. We're not quite there yet, but we always hit a point in the summer where it just pops off, and it's like everybody just can't contain anymore, and we're back into football mode in our minds. We're not quite there yet. Get through the holiday, give it a couple more weeks, and then we'll see where we're at. So thank you guys for being here. I start with this. Don't blow your digits off. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. I've seen it go bad too many times. Like, it's not worth it. And it's always all the videos that you see from like 4th of July firework mishaps, like 85% of them start with, I don't know if that wick is I don't know if it's lit. Maybe you should get your head in there and take a look. I don't think that wick is lit. It's always some dude with a beer in his hand, a smoke in his mouth. They don't think the wick is lit, and they go take a closer look, and then before you know it, your face is gone. I see it on Twitter every single year. I don't know, Ted. Maybe you need to get in there and take a closer look at that rope you lit on fire. Oh, good idea. And you lean down. and you look like Hellraiser after that. So I'm just saying not to do that. I just think it's a bad idea. Here's the other fun topic that was going on the Patreon, on the chat over there. Feel free to put in your favorite 4th of July movies. Okay, and here's where I'm at with it. To me, there's 2 categories. There's the ones that are like about America and the military, like the Patriot and stuff like that. So you have like the historical context Americana ones with the military and that kind of stuff. Like, and I like the Patriot in that genre. But then I'm always going to mention this, how good of a movie Jaws is. For a summer movie, a 4th of July movie, I'm always going to mention the simplicity of Jaws is why it works. You don't got to be a genius to follow the plot. It's not a million special effects. You're not like traveling into a different galaxy and you need to use your brain to figure out what's going on. The simplicity of the concept is why that movie withstands time. It is very, very simple. Sharks are just made to do one thing: hunt and kill and eat. And that doesn't line up with people. So I love that movie. I'll always love that movie. I just think it's a classic. It's super simple. And I like that. I don't got to be a genius to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need a bigger boat, John. I don't think Johnny's a good boat guy. I think I get car sick on the boat. Just too much rocking. You know what I'm saying? Out on the ocean, too much rocking makes John's stomach come a knocking. You know what I'm talking about? I can't do it. So I'm not a big boat guy. When there's a lot of waves, I'll be Ralphing off the side, chumming up the water, Jaws style. I don't, no. Star Wars is the best 4th of July movie, John. Come on. I don't want to do that. Don't get me started. Don't get me started with the problems I got with Star Wars. No one's ever told me why a random Sasquatch is a part of the crew. Roomba robot's a part of the crew. We're traveling galaxies. I don't understand. Jason is here. Look, Jason. Ryan Roll, Beavis and Butthead to America is my favorite 4th of July movie. You know what line from that movie I still say, Ryan? I still say it every time I see someone with braces. I say what Butthead says to Chelsea Clinton. He goes, I noticed you have braces. I have braces too. Like, that's his only line to Chelsea Clinton. I noticed you have braces. I have braces too. Johnny, why not join the winning side and become an Alabama fan and know what it's like to be a modern era national title fan? I have good news and bad news for you, Jason. I have good news and bad news for you. The good news is Alabama has been the model of what everybody wanted to be and everybody was looking up at all those years during the Saban dynasty and all that kind of stuff. That's the good news. You want a boatload of trophies. No one can take them away from you. You can live off them forever. Here's the bad news. Alabama is no longer what it was on the field and off the field. It's just not. And it's not an insult. It's really hard to follow up a legend. Even if you're really, really good coach, really, really good team, it's hard to follow up that legend. And quite frankly, now that everybody can pay for players and not just the South, the talent's leveling out a little bit and Alabama's having trouble keeping up. So, yes, you have all those trophies you could hold over us, and Notre Dame hasn't won since the 80s. That's all accurate. That's all true. But you guys are trending kind of down. I'm not being negative. I'm just telling you the facts. When is the last time you saw an Alabama recruiting class where it is right now at this part of the year? And I know they're going to say we're getting away from it's going to be a lighter year for high school recruiting for Alabama. We're building it different in the modern. I'm just telling you. It's getting a little dangerous for you because you're going to end up like Notre Dame people, where all you can talk about is the past, the past, the past. And what did Mike Ditka say? The past is for cowards and losers. So I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but I'm just throwing this out. Is it a coincidence? The vice grip of control over the sport the SEC had went away right when everybody could pay for players. I'm just saying, I'm just an observant guy, and I happen to notice this trend that right when everyone could pay for players, the SEC no longer has this power grip over all the top 200 recruits or whatever, other than like Ohio State. Coincidence? I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. Catfish. Watch a JPP fireworks safety course, bro. His hand came out. Did anybody's grandparents have the old meat grinder where like it's like a literal heavy vise you attach to your counter, you put the meat in, you grind it, and it shoots out the other side? Did anybody's grandparents say it was like heavy silver thing you'd crank? That's what that dude's hand looked like, bro. Just don't mess with it. It's always the same thing. I had a bunch of beers. I'm feeling frisky. I got a Newport Light in my mouth. And then you go, oh, man, I don't really think that one's going to go off. We better get down there and look if that wick is lit or not. Say goodbye to your cornea. How do you like spend your 4th of July getting a retina transplant? Son of a buck on the fireworks. It's just not worth it, people. It's just not worth it.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry?
What you doing, Terry? He refused to be treated by the Giants doctors. By treated, what do you mean? Going in the road and gathering his digits? Like, what do you mean treated? What does that mean? You just go find pieces of his hand throughout the neighborhood or what? Unbelievable. But it's just not worth it. Let somebody else do all the dangerous stuff. So I don't know, you guys. So it's let's go over some of these chats, and then we'll bring some of you guys up. Frabble edits $2 holler. ND will be a better program this decade. It's trending that way. Like if you look at the recruiting, especially, it's trending that way. But I need Notre Dame to have more sustained postseason level success to kind of entrench that idea. I need Notre Dame to be a little more consistent. And by that, I mean not playing. By that, I mean not being in the Pop-Tarts Bowl or being nominated for the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Pete for the Irish Johnson, $10 hour. Only 71 days left till the first tailgate. Recommended for all Irish fans. Please tell the new listeners what MFBD, Michigan football brain disorder. I will allow you to put Miami brain disorder in there. That works too. Show the book, Frank and the Fighting Irish, Leahy's Lads, The American Coach. You want to know something about excellence? Read about your man, Frankie. John, did you see Freeman say he wants to retire at Notre Dame? I certainly did. I did. And listen, I don't know about Ryan. I see you. You're going to come out, talk some recruiting, whatever. I did see this. And it placates you. If you're a Notre Dame guy, you like hearing that. I've been on record saying Freeman is not battling some of the same headwinds that made other coaches look for an exit out of South Bend. Freeman is not battling some of the same fires. Some of that is because the entire operation is modernized with the times naturally. Some of it is also Freeman is a part of it, getting things done and whatever else. Okay. So that's my argument of why I think Freeman could be around for longer. He is not battling some of the same things that made other coaches feel like Notre Dame was a stepping stone. and that the overall organization wasn't fully invested in football being elite. And that is what has people having a wandering eye. You go, man, it is already hard enough to be an elite winner in college football. It's really, really hard to be an elite winner at Notre Dame because of all the unique intricacies of Notre Dame and how it operates. And then you say to yourself, I don't even feel like I have full support from my own institution. They're not giving us the money we need. They're not giving us the resources. They're not whatever. You can't win in Notre Dame feeling like everything at Notre Dame isn't even on your side. And that is a situation a lot of former Notre Dame coaches found themselves in. Now, it's not all the university's fault. Some of it is on those coaches' faults and their personalities turning everyone off and making them not want to help football out. This is not a football factory where the head coach is king and everybody does what they want. That's not how Notre Dame works. So Freeman's got it going. The NIL piece is going. The academic piece is going. The portal piece is going. The recruiting's going. Like, Freeman's got a good setup here. They want to support him. They want to help him. They want to support him and they want to help him. So if he wants to stay at Notre Dame long-term, he could certainly do that. So I don't know, man. But that is, when you look at this and you're like, why would that guy stay or whatever? It's very simple. He is not battling some of the same headwinds recent Notre Dame coaches battled, and it made it like a stepping stone almost to somewhere with more support. So I don't know, man. I don't know. ND fandom, the Bama recent titles are more relevant than those Leahy or Rockney titles. Yeah, well, no shit, Jason. Happy 4th of July. No kidding. Don't you wish I had titles to talk about that weren't 100 years old? Son of a buck. Like, obviously, I wish I was talking about a whole handful of titles in my lifetime and all this stuff. Duh. IU will not sustain, let alone a great football team. Yeah, hey, they got the title they needed. Got the title they needed. Too many people haven't seen Animal House. It's an older movie, man. Some people, that's before their time, probably. Couple of these chats, and then we'll get into this. I want to talk about Trey and his 6-day interest in Notre Dame. I also want to talk about Notre Dame's recruiting talent they're bringing in. But let me do these chats and then bring somebody up on the chat here. On the video, I mean, Domer fan Sully. Kind of glad this kid figured it out in 6 days and didn't use us for a year like the Deuce when the Deuce was loose. Good luck at OU. Totally, we'll get into it. Bizarre situation, weird dynamics. But yeah, if this was going to happen, wouldn't you rather it happened within a week rather than it's months and you're counting on him and you're not looking at other quarterbacks or whatever? But it is a very weird situation. Ryan, probably dodged bullet. He probably has poor decision-making on the field as well. Hope the show doesn't go long. Edit for the lake for the weekend right after. I'm genuinely impressed that your 4th of July weekend plans somewhat revolve around how long I yell about football. It makes me feel good. Makes me feel good. Domer 88. First ND Miami simulation as Miami winning in OT 16-13 with Carr throwing a game-ending pick at the 5-yard line. I told myself a while ago, I am much too old to let a simulated game played by a computer against a computer affect my mood. And I'm holding to it, damn it. For far too long, I'd see those simulated games on YouTube or whatever, and I'd start getting mad about it. I'm not doing it. But what interests me is 16-13. We got ourselves a low-scoring ball game, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I need more offense out of that from CJ Carr. Oh, I'm the Manning Passing Academy champion. 13 points don't represent that in the biggest game of the year. When you're the man, are you outside your mind? Not good enough. No, I'm sorry, you guys. The bar is so damn high. Oh, the Manning Passing Academy may be good. The NFL wants them all this. Yeah, what is cool? You won the MVP at the Manning Passing Academy. I love that. That's better than hearing your quarterback struggled. I love it, love it, love it. But you know what's more important? Tell me your stat line against BYU, Miami, and SMU. Then let's talk about the Manning Award. I'm sorry. I just, the bar is set very high. Back it up. Put it in reverse, Johnny. Oh, Lord. Ryan, we should play John Denver when we beat Miami. I'm going to give you guys this. You're going to be proud of Johnny. I watched a little bit of that United States soccer game the other day. I had no idea what's going on. I don't even understand when the game ends. What the hell sort of sport has a clock that goes up and not down? You can't even, I don't even know when the game's over. What sport has a clock that goes up? How do you know when the game ends? So I don't understand. I'm watching it and I'm going, okay, the United States is winning. How much time's left in the milk this thing? How am I supposed to figure out a clock that goes up? So what do you do when the clock goes up? When's the game over? I don't understand. But the clock was going up. Never seen anything like it. Morning, boys. Happy 4th. Rudy, always good to have a Rudiger in the chat. Glenny, anyone else have 4th of July celebrations canceled due to the extreme heat? I don't think that's going on around here. It makes me wonder if we're under a firework risk. You know what I'm talking about? Some heated embers that land in a dry grass field and then it lights it or something. I'm going to tell you what I don't appreciate. These people in this neighborhood I moved into act like they're in Vietnam all over again. You land and before you know it, it's shrapnel and shells everywhere. It's you. And I don't like it hitting my roof. You could be in your house and you'll hear the fireworks when they land, like click, click, click as they hit your roof. I don't like that. I don't like that. But geez, it's like a war zone over here. Nikki Dean loves to be heard and seen. Why does Cryan think it's okay for Freeman and Elko's agent to tell what the other's business is? Isn't there a privilege with agents like lawyers? Something about that story doesn't add up. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know what to make. Something's weird with it because it just seems like a total breach of that relationship that you would screw one client to benefit the other. I don't know what an agent would get out of that. What does an agent get out of doing that with two of your biggest all-star guys? I don't know. $2 holler for the catfish. Yeah, just the JPP fireworks course. Just show your nub, bro. Show your nub. That'll be it. $5 holler, Levi. I'm just here for John's food takes. Yeah, man. Hey, 4th of July, do yourself a cookout. Do yourself a cookout, man. John has officially entered the get off my lawn crowd. I've officially entered the don't light my house on fire crowd. That's the one I've entered. You want to light fireworks? Light fireworks. I don't appreciate them landing in my pool and on my roof. That's all I'm saying. You can light up whatever you want. Blow your own arm off all you want. Don't have it blowing into my house. So whatever, man. I don't know. It is what it is. So it's tough. But I'm just saying, show your nub, save that one for the Patreon. Just bought a firework called El Diablo, supposedly banned in all 50 states. Wish me luck. It's the other thing is John's Independence Day food menu: hot dogs, burgers, fries, and no condiments. That's all. I'll allow you ketchup. But for me, I just, John, you want a cheeseburger? Yeah, what do you want on it? Meat, cheese, and bread. That's a cheeseburger. Anything else is unsophisticated. You're doing too much. You're doing too much if it's anything other than bread, meat, and cheese. You're trying too hard, man. You're trying to. Johnny only likes snakes and sparklers. Yeah, go America. I'll tell you this story real quick. Dumbest thing I've ever done with fireworks. This was real stupid. We were real drunk. John, how do you like your steak cooked? I want that thing done. I do not have the sophisticated palate enough to be like, I want my steak barely cooked so I can taste the magical juices. Just cook the thing enough so I know I'm not going to get sick off it. That's all I care. Yeah, use this sophisticated palate. I want mine gently seared and all pink for the juices. No, just cook it enough that I don't get sick and I don't care. That's literally my only requirement. Cook it enough I don't get sick and then I don't care after that. Dumbest thing I've ever did, and then Ryan's coming up. So my buddy he rented a farmhouse out in the country. We were in our 20s, drinking way too much all day for the 4th of July. Drank a little drink, smoke a little smoke. It was too much. I admit it, grain silo. So the guy had one of the full-size empty grain silos at one of these farms, the metal ones. So at like midnight, we have this genius idea drunk to light off 1 million bottle rockets in there and put them in like a bowl, put a whole bunch of them in there, light them all, and then let them shoot and ricochet all over in that silo with us in it. And just see who gets hit and how bad it is. That's what we did. It was really dumb. So people got burned, but we had a good time. You know what I'm saying? You put them so they shoot every direction. Then they're hitting the edge of the silo, ricocheting. It was bad. Don't do that. It was very dangerous. Ryan, what's going on?
What's going on, John? How you been, man? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. I'm ready for camp. The length of this off season has finally caught up to me. Being done in early December, like that extra time, it's starting to catch up. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, it's the dog days of summer, man. I mean, all we've got, is the baseball and the World Cup to get us through until Notre Dame football is here, and that's not the greatest. So, yeah. But, I am hearing it, man. I could tell, with the fireworks take. I mean, you'd hate to live next to me right now. Dude, I got my first house 3 years ago and decided, you know what? It's 4th of July. I'm going to have all my friends over. We're going to drink, cook out. We're going to set off thousands of dollars worth of illegal fireworks because I had never done it before. And that night, let's just say I learned that decided to buy a house in the elderly part of town. So
yeah, I can imagine. Hey, just don't JPP yourself, man. That's all I'm saying. Make sure you got all your digits. So Ryan, where's your mind at in the world of Notre Dame football right now? Obviously the recruiting overall is going fantastic. Like there's the car stuff. There's a lot of hype with the Manning Academy. Like, so what are you focused on here for the ramp to camp we're in right now?
Obviously focused on, kind of rounding up this recruiting class for 27. I'm kind of, a little exhausted, with the last couple of weeks with Henderson and Trey. But, that is what recruiting is nowadays, right? You kind of just get used to it. I always find it hilarious when, people kind of, get like with the Trey stuff. Oh, well, he was sucked anyway. It's, how can you commit and then decommit 6 days later? It's like, guys, this is every year now for the past, since I've been, following recruiting since, what was it? 2020?
So what do you think the truth is? What do you think? And that's some of what the topics I wanted to go over today. What do you think the truth is here? Because it just sounds like a weird sequence of events. What do you think happened here?
I think it would be naive to think that NIL didn't play a part in it at all. I also think maybe his decision was a very emotional one. Sounds like, he committed while on his visit, wanted to make it like a, Father's Day present for his dad, who's a huge Notre Dame fan. Everything he talked about, it sounds like him and his entire family grew up Notre Dame fans. I just think that maybe it was just a case of, he realized, hey, was I doing this for my parents? Do I really want to go to Notre Dame? And then who knows? We see it all the time with a team that really wants a kid and comes in late and says, hey, we'll give you, an extra couple dollars. And I also think maybe he took a step back. And I can't blame a kid for doing this, John. Look at Notre Dame's quarterback room right now.
Yeah.
Compare that to Oklahoma's.
Yeah.
There's an easier path for him to probably see the field at Oklahoma than there is at Notre Dame.
Zach here in the chat says he used Notre Dame to get Oklahoma. Like, I don't know. And if Oklahoma ended up ponying up a lot more money and Notre Dame doesn't see him as a frontline starter, I don't blame Notre Dame for not chasing that and matching that number. You could argue that's kind of smart. What do you think about that part of it?
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat. I think that tells you a lot, John, about where Notre Dame is in terms of recruiting, right? Like the quarterback room, Freeman has done an amazing job the last few classes revamping that quarterback room.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is probably the best from top to bottom talent wise. The Notre Dame quarterback room has been what, maybe in my lifetime, I'd have to go through and see who was behind, Brady on those teams. I don't think it was probably particularly great. Jimmy Clausen. This is from top to bottom. I mean, you got Champ Mons coming in, who was the number one quarterback in his class before reclassifying. Teddy was number 2 before reclassifying.
Yeah.
Noah Grubbs. I mean, hell, won Offensive Player of the Year in Florida. Like, he's no scrub. I mean, you're the worst quarterback probably, and you're kind of splitting hairs, is probably Hebert, and I wouldn't say he's terrible. But I think it speaks volumes of where we're at as a program right now, where when we were under BK, a guy like Trey was kind of like, oh, you can't lose a guy like that. You can't lose Trey. In all honesty, not bashing the kid. I think he's super talented. I think he's got a great arm. But out of the 4 we offered, I've said this for the past few months since we sent out those quarterback offers. I thought Prayer, Lawrence, and Proc were all 3 at a different level than Trey. And I think it's one of those things where, hey, Trey, you want to go to OU? Not that I don't think the staff is probably freaking out either, because I think Gino is very particular about who he offers, and maybe this was a situation of them kind of, hey, we need a 28 quarterback. We'd like to have him by this end of this summer. We offer Trey. He's a Notre Dame kid. I don't want to say settling, but thought it would be just an easy get. So I think we'll see going forward, but I think, again, speaks volumes where we're at as a program right now.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely does. And it's like, I see people are saying, this was all a con job. He leveraged Notre Dame to get more out of Oklahoma or whatever. Like, whatever it is, it just sounds like the juice ain't worth the squeeze for Notre Dame. Like, yeah. So I don't know if Gino and them feel like they got played on this or whatever, but I was reading that the family was difficult to deal with even when things were going well. And then like, there's all these games. It just all sounds like it's just not worth it. And then the question is, where does Notre Dame go now? Like, that's always a problem I have, is when people or I complain about things, it's like, I want you to finish the equation, bitch about something, then give me the solution. I don't know who they're going to get now in 28. That's the next question. I'm worried about winning games in 26 and finishing out 27's recruiting class. I don't have the brain power to worry about everything all at once. So I don't have that answer, Ryan, of where you go now at quarterback in that class. I don't have the answer.
I think Lucas Proc is probably your clear and obvious answer. He's the only one of the 3 that, Prayer seems like he's heavily turned into Alabama. I really loved him. I loved his film. He was the favorite of the 4, and I don't know what happened there. It kind of seems like we just kind of lost momentum there, but it's really hard to pull a kid from SEC country. So I understand that, but I think Proc is probably your plan B here. I think Notre Dame would love him. I mean, I was watching his film yesterday, and the kid is just, I'll say this, he's better than Trey. And I think you can see that pretty early on in the tape. Ironically enough, they both have the same, quarterback trainer. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know how close those 2 guys are, but I think we'll see. And then I'm sure Gino, if he feels a need to, will expand the board. So, but again, like you said, I'm not worried about 28 quarterback recruiting because, dude, I think we're set after CJ. I mean, I don't know if you saw that article from a few months ago where it's like Teddy Gerard, ESPN listed as the most, and like has the highest NFL upside of anybody on the Notre Dame roster, including CJ Carr. Like, if Teddy is who we think he is, you got a starter for at least another 2-3 years. And then you got Mons right behind him. I mean, man, like, we're in a really good spot there.
Yeah. You know how it is, though. Everybody wants the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Like and the reality, though, is I think in the new world we're living in, with all this money flying around, I just think you got to spend a lot to even be in it for those top 200 guys or whatever. And then you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. And some teams are going to overpay for what you value a guy at. Like, I just think you're going to win some and lose some, like you did with Henderson. Really frustrating. What do you think happened there? Do you think that agent like crapped on Freeman to help Elko? Like, what? That's a weird one too. What do you think the reality is of that story? Because that's a weird one too.
Me personally, I don't know how true it is. I know that when you get to big boy recruiting, right, these coaches are going to do anything and everything they can do to get a recruit.
Yeah.
Some guys have dirtier tactics than others, but I find it very odd that we get all the two predictions logged in favor of Notre Dame. Everything seems like, oh, Henderson's going to Notre Dame. He's all but committed. And then it felt like that Tuesday in the afternoon, it still seems really good. And then all of a sudden within an hour, it's like, oh, no, he's going to A&M.
Yeah.
To me, that seemed like it's, again, and I can't say this for sure because I don't know Caden Henderson. Don't know his family, but it's naive to think in today's world that NIL wasn't maybe increased. There wasn't a higher offer. And I'm sure there was negative recruiting going on because that's something that we've heard in the portal. We've heard that, in high school recruiting within the last year, since the season ended, schools are using the Freeman thing to negatively recruit against Notre Dame. Hey, look, he got an offer from the Giants or had interest in the Giants job. Do you really know how long he's going to stay there? I'm sure that's used, and I think it's part of the game.
But Ryan, where I'm at is the way these guys all transfer. If you love Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman that much, you go there. And then if he goes to the NFL, you just transfer to a number 2 school and make a boatload of money to do it. That's a pretty good plan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So it's weird. But then you lose that one, and then you get a Simeon out of a part of the country where a lot of people weren't sure you're going to be able to pull that off. So, like, you win some, you lose some. But overall, I'm looking at that graphic that had Notre Dame with an 81% blue chip rate, and it's outrageous. So, like, you're doing a damn good job. You're just going to win some and lose some.
It's it's big boy recruiting. You want to go out there and go get the Caden Hendersons of the world, the Albert Simeons of the world. You want to go get the Abraham Cesays of the world.
You got to play this game. And
you got to play this game.
Yeah, and you got to be okay and get burned sometimes too with it.
And that's the thing, is I think Freeman realizes that too. But man, he's done a hell of a job the last 2 cycles. And hey, these are our guys. These are the guys we want. These are the 5 stars we want. Last year, what was it? He's something like crazy about getting 22 of the 26 guys that took OVs committed. Yeah. Like this year, you can have, like, you got Joey O'Brien. I remember this time last year, we weren't sure Joey O'Brien was even going to come to Notre Dame. Yeah. Same thing with Kari Adams. Like, he got a lot of those done. You're not going to win every single one, but again, like the Albert Simeon stuff and the Caden Henderson thing, I think it's just hey, they really needed Caden Henderson. We really wanted Caden Henderson, but A&M was able to get that job done. We weren't, but we were able to steal Albert Simeon. And also, people forget the Olu stuff. We got Olu. We were not heavily involved in Olu's recruitment till very late. That was a Miami A&M clear 1 and 2. We came in, and whatever Freeman did made Miami and A&M go, hold on. ND's involved? Yeah, we're going to focus on Mark Matthews. And I think it's hilarious. Like that day with the Henderson stuff that dropped, that was the same day Abraham Ceesay committed. And I don't know if you saw my post on Twitter, but I was like, I sat there, I'm like, laughing. I said, where we've come in Notre Dame recruiting from the Brian Kelly days to the Marcus Freeman days is it tells you a lot when the story on Notre Dame Twitter, when you have a 5-star edge rusher, an elite player committing to Notre Dame, and the news story is all about how we missed out on a 5-star linebacker.
Yeah. Things are, we're playing in a different ballpark now. And then Ryan, before I let you go, so you can blow off your digits. What are your thoughts on this upcoming season, man? All the hype. I don't really remember in my adult lifetime a run up to a season with this level of realistic expectations on the high end. What are you thinking, man? This has got to be a big year for Freeman and Carr and the whole group.
I said this, and again, I don't usually say these words, any of my sports teams, because I always look at it as like a sports no-no, right? But I feel like this year it's truly natty or bust for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman. I think you have the recipes and the ingredients in the kitchen to cook up a national championship winning roster. I think it's all there. You have the Heisman favorite at quarterback. You have the Manning Passing Academy MVP at
you got all that defensive talent. And then you have the most favorable front half of a Notre Dame schedule I ever remember seeing as a ramp up to get into what should be your tougher games. Like if ever there was a year where things line up in Notre Dame's favor, this is it.
The schedule sets up perfectly. You have, in my opinion, you have 3 games that are, I think there's one game realistically that should be a challenge for you, but I don't want to sit there and act like BYU on the road in Provo can't be a sneaky game.
True.
The SMU game, we've seen SMU the last couple of years under Rhett Lashley pull the rug out under teams. They did it to Miami last year, right? So I don't want to say that it should be a cakewalk, but the schedule sets up very nicely for you to do what you're supposed to do, which at the very minimum is go 11-1. You go 10-2,
you're out.
This season, you're out, and this season is a failure.
Oh, could you imagine? Like, the nightmare is like you're on a razor's edge, man. The lightness of that schedule is in your favor only if you run it well. But if you mess up 10-2, you may not be able to turn down the Pop-Tarts Bowl this year.
Oh, yeah. No.
So you're in trouble. And with this roster, it'd be just a total nightmare. Total nightmare.
Like, my expectation isn't even to just make the playoff. That's more than an expectation. That's like you better guarantee me you're making the playoff at least. You better make the national championship game again this year. That's where I'm at. And again, to me, it's natty or bust with all the $40 million roster you just spent. You brought 2 5-star receivers in from Ohio State. You have the quarterback. That's the Heisman favorite. You have potentially, like from different mocks, I'm seeing 6 potential first-round draft picks on this team.
Yeah.
We in my lifetime, and I'm 25, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Notre Dame has never had the quarterback and the roster and the coach all at the same time in the last 25 years that I've been alive. You have that on paper right now. Freeman, do it.
Yeah.
There's no excuses anymore. Do it.
Yep.
Get it done.
You're not the new guy. He should be hitting his stride right at the prime. Like it's all lining up. Ryan, thanks for joining, buddy. Anything else on the way out? I'm joking, but seriously, be safe out there with your limbs.
Will do, man. We'll make sure we run faster this year because, but no, man, I hope you and your family have a great 4th of July, man. And looking forward to trying to get up to one of the tailgates this year. 65 days until Wisconsin, man. So
and so we'll do the Rice tailgate. We'll honor Lou, first home game since his passing, and then we're doing one for Miami, and that's going to be a big day.
I'll be at the Miami game, so I'll be at that one for sure.
There you go. Hey, man, be safe out there and watch your digits.
You too, man.
See ya. I'm just telling you. And okay, we got a few people that want to jump on. Taj and Serge coming up next. Been waiting. Andrew Gilmore, How are we a championship contender? We're saying we could lose to BYU. Shouldn't a title contender smash them? I mean, Andrew, yes and no. Like, you, in any given year, whatever team's media and fan base thinks like we might be the best team, this could be our year. There are still ways you could see the season turning bad on you. Like, I don't think it's crazy to play, but I think it's maybe responsible to worry about something. Even if you think your team could win it all, there is a side of your brain, a YouTube show you're going to do, an article you're going to do of what could go wrong. And so I do get that. Like I could exist in both. And like all summer, my brain is half on seeing the path to Notre Dame actually getting this done for once in my miserable existence. And another part of one day I'll wake up with all the things that could go wrong. Carr gets hurt. Ash does something goofy and you lose a game in September because there's no defenders on the screen when the pass is thrown. Your BYU is so grindy, and then you make a couple mistakes. You're in a dogfight late out there in the fourth quarter. There's a lot that could go wrong. So I don't know. I just look at all sides of it. So wouldn't Ohio State smoke BYU? What about Georgia? I don't know. Those aren't the teams that I'm worried about. I don't know. I'm only worried about this team. And in my entire adult life, whatever can go wrong has gone wrong. Whatever can go wrong has gone wrong, usually in the most painful way possible. So forgive me that I'm protecting myself against that for the 100th year in a row. I think one of the biggest arguments with the BYU is like, look at what Texas Tech did to BYU multiple times. Like, that's in my head. I know it's a different year and everything, whatever, but it's like, damn. It's just like, but I can also, a part of me sees what Texas Tech did with a superior roster to the rest of the Big 12, what they did to them multiple times. However, man, I've just seen it too many times. The grindy, try hard, never give up, get a lucky bounce. It doesn't take much, and you're in a dogfight late, man. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. So I don't know. It is. But in the other, I'm going to mention this too. Taj, Serge, you're coming up next. I'm going to mention this too. I have zero tolerance for Notre Dame not looking sharp and playing good at BYU. You are going to be a double-digit favorite the first 6 games before this one. You are not allowed to have half of the year as a ramp up to get everything figured out on your team. And then your first big game of the year, you look like you're like unprepared. Completely unacceptable. I'm absolutely going to blow my stack. Like I'm going to lose it if you have a half a year to ramp yourself up and then you look confused at BYU and we're overwhelmed. Unbelievable. It's completely unacceptable. You got to be hitting on all cylinders for the BYU game. You have 6 games where you're a double-digit favorite to figure every little nuance out. Who can play where and when, what packages, who to match up together in this position group. You can try anything and work it all out. You got to be ready to go for BYU. If y'all double team Tony, that's the other thing, Malachi Tony. I wake up in a flop sweat still at the very concept that Notre Dame let a 17-year-old dominate them in the first game of the year, the biggest game of the year, and the kids barely got a driver's license. And I'm watching the biggest game of the year, and they throw it to the kid, and there ain't a Notre Dame defender on the entire screen. I wake up in the middle of the night in a sweat over it. I do. Unbelievable. Let's see BYU beat Arizona before Notre Dame. I think they'll potentially have a loss by Indy. They also play TCU. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Taj, what's going on? What's happy 4th of July? Back up. What? Back up, Terry?
Happy 4th, John. It's nice to actually hear from you again. I finally get a day off so I can call, so I can actually call instead of just, have you listening while I'm at work.
Yeah, man. Well, I figured today would be a good day to like do the show regular because I know some people have the day off. Maybe we could catch a different group of morning callers, and it looks like we did so far. So, Taj, it's good to hear from you, brother. What's on your mind in Notre Dame land? There's a lot to think about. What's on your mind?
Yeah, the chat's kind of covered a lot of my thoughts, but the CJ standing out at the Manning Passing Academy, I always thought it was just kind of a good thing. He's out there just putting some more tools in his tool bag. I mean, that the other guys at that camp, I mean, they weren't slouches. I mean, you had Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss, you had Arch Manning from Texas, and you had John Mateer from Oklahoma. So these are guys he's going to be competing against the Heisman anyway. So it's kind of nice to hear that he's out sharpening his craft, doing the little extra things to make himself be better things that he knows he can work on when he gets to camp, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, man.
So
like
I've always seen that as just kind of a cherry on type of situation.
Yeah, like if you're gonna have your guy competing in one of those, I'd much rather hear good things than bad things. Like McShay was just pouring on the praise for the guy. So that's a good start, and let's hope he gets the timing down with the new receiver core, and it looks different out there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and then as for the recruiting stuff, is what I've always explained to people that kind of don't understand with college football. I've said since at least the 80s, I mean, it's probably always been like this, but since at least the 80s, college recruiting is blood sport. I mean, it's almost more competitive sometimes than even the games themselves. You have high stakes going after only a handful of kids across the country. Remember, only 1% of high school guys actually even get to play college football. So, it's always going to be competitive going after those guys. And right now, Notre Dame, we're kind of having champagne problems with the whole Henderson thing. It sucks we lose them, but then we get Cisse and then same weekend. And now we're chasing after the two Chicago kids.
You got Simeon. And I'm with you. A part of me thinks when you're in the game to this deep of a level, man, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. And you got burned on that one. But it's like, when I'm reading these articles saying Notre Dame's got an 81% blue chip rate, the highest in the country, like, yeah, I wanted Henderson too. Slowly, linebackers becoming a little bit of a need because you expect to lose some good players to the NFL, whatever. There's going to be a rollover there. But it's like overall, geez, they're doing a good job. It's just I'm relieved to know Notre Dame's in it to this level to be able to even win recruitments with these top guys. That is it relaxes me to just know they're invested at that level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I've seen this night and day change from Kelly to Freeman. Just the effort is making the difference in my opinion.
Yeah,
and And clearly the kids are reflecting by it because you hear them talk about, well, yeah, I feel at home here. I want to play for this guy. I want to buy in. So, and the fact that he's getting so many kids out of the South, because that was something my dad always complained about. It's like, why do we always, why are teams like Alabama and Georgia and all these guys so much faster than us? It's like, we need to go in the South to start getting these kids. Well, Notre Dame's doing that now. I mean, I think like this summer, it seems like they just kind of lived in Florida for most of this recruiting cycle.
Yeah, I'm genuinely impressed with what they're doing. And so this has got to be a big year. Like there's all the preseason advantages you could want for Notre Dame for once, like with the schedule lining up and feeling like you have a really good roster on both sides of the ball. Like there's a lot to like. And I don't know. It needs to be a good year for Notre Dame. They need to deliver. This is different, though, Taj. Notre Dame's not one of these, like, maybe if things all go right, they could compete this year teams. Notre Dame is one of those teams that's, like, expected to compete for a title. That's different. How do Carr and Freeman handle that kind of pressure, which is fairly new for Notre Dame to be, like, looked at as one of the hunted, not one of the ones hunting to get up there? That's different. And I want to see how they handle being a favorite here.
Yes, I want them to be locked in and sharp, and I want them to be able to take care of business week 1 against Wisconsin, because the thing I love about college football is one of the things I kind of hate about college football is goofy losses happen to every team every year.
Yep.
Inexplicable. Hey, what happened? I mean, it's happened to us. It happened to Miami last year. I mean, they did, as good as Miami was, they didn't even win their conference because they lost two goofy games in the middle of the year. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't look past BYU. Yeah, we should beat them, but they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough at home. Yeah. So just stay locked in. Don't let these teams sneak up on you. You have too much at stake, and if you take care of business, we're going to make the playoffs, and then let the chips fall where they may once we get to the playoffs.
Yep. I'm with you, man. This is but everybody involved here has done a wonderful job. The staff and the recruiting, Carter Ullman, the NFL style, Martin front office, the people getting together, the NIL, the academic side, the transfer portal people, everyone's pulling from the same end of the rope here for the first time in my adult life. It feels like the whole organization is in on this being an elite operation. And I, quite frankly, am here for that.
Yes. It's just weird for me, even seeing it locally. It's just kind of like okay, Notre Dame's not shying away from who it is. Yep. Like they're finally embracing it. Hey, this is a part of our heritage too. We shouldn't be ashamed of it. We should just go on and embrace it. Like this is a part of us too. I mean, to quote Bobby Bowden used to say this. He said, "Your football team is like the front porch of your university." It's the thing that the first thing a lot of people are going to see. So there's no point in hiding it. You might as well just go on and kind of embrace it. Yeah, this is a part of you too. These are all good students too. They work hard. So, you don't have to pretend about being perceived as a football factory. So what? These kids also get it done in the classroom too. You brag about it all the time. Every halftime, they always have what do you fight for the Notre Dame thing every year to demonstrate that. So there's no point in trying to shy away from it. Just embrace it. It's part of your culture too.
Dude, it's so funny though. Like some of these stressful games when they do that thing before they come back in the third quarter, like, what are you fighting for? I'm like, dude, my answer is my sanity and my hairline during a Notre Dame game. That's what the hell I'm fighting for. I'll tell you that right now during most of our games. I'm fighting for my sanity.
Yeah. I like to use those segments to just take a breath. Because my throat's usually hoarse by that point, but it's just like, okay, I get a couple of minutes, I could catch my breath, and I can jump into the third quarter ready to roll.
Yeah, and then Taj, I gotta ask you, we're doing tailgates for Conolangus Rice and then Miami, and I gotta know, are you coming to one? You coming to both?
I'm gonna try and see if I can get tickets for Rice. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get Miami because I know that's gonna be super expensive, but I'm gonna see if I can try and get tickets to Rice. Hopefully, I can see if I can drag my dad along too.
The cool thing with the Rice game is I'm sure they're going to honor Lou Holtz because it'll be the first home game since he's passed. And I picked that game as the tailgate even before that all happened. So it'll be kind of nice because I'm sure they're going to do something really good to honor Lou. So that'll be a big deal.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, just, I saw a lot of the, funeral arrangements down here and, I had to cry. It was so powerful and moving for me. So, yeah, I hope they do something for Lou that game, and then we can go in there, make Lou happy by, throwing 50 points on Rice and having hopefully a good weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Taj, it's really good to hear from you, buddy. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. I'm glad you were able to make it work, and I hope you have a relaxing houday weekend. All
right, thanks. Enjoy your holiday too, John.
Have a good one, buddy. We'll talk to you, man. I love catching a different group here. Serge, you're going to come up. Serge is going to come up. This is outrageous. This man, Jay Carr here, he's got the audacity to text me last night while I'm watching the White Sox blow the game in the ninth inning to Cleveland, who they're fighting with for leading the division, by the way. So I'm in the middle of the frustration of the Sox blowing that game yesterday. Jay Carr texts me and he says, "Would you eat this?" And I click on it and it's a TikTok video of a guy frying up a snake. The guy's frying up a snake on the grill and it's like I called a snake donut burger. Something. This guy was frying up a full-fledged snake on the grill, bro. not like cut up into pieces of like meat that you're tenderizing. He's whipping an actual snake on the grill. Unbelievable. But to think that I'm going to eat that anaconda burger, you outside your mind. ND9, tell your wife I said hi. She's a lovely person, and she dealt with us all last weekend. Or 4th of July, blue and gold weekend. I respect BYU, but we're just better than them. That's not disrespect. It is how it is. This is how I think of that dynamic. There's been these instances where we're entering games, and I'm saying, if both teams play a good game for them, whatever in your mind counts as a good, clean game. If both teams play a good, solid game, we have better athletes, we should win. Like I say that all the time. I'm like, if both teams play a really good game, who's going to win? And then it's based on talent. But what happens is teams make mistakes. Teams sleepwalk. Teams take things for granted. Teams think there's a win just by rolling the helmet out there. But I always do play that game where I'm like, okay, let me look at what I think of both these teams' levels. And if they both play good, solid games, who should win, right? But I'm telling you what, BYU has that upset culture. Like maybe one of the most upsetty teams in the country as far as the vibe, the energy, try hard, never quit. Sataki, the Kalani's a perfect coach for that whole narrative. They are so upsetty. It's on you to not let that happen. It's on you to not let that happen. And it's like Bear Brockmeyer, he's a big dude, 6'4". He's going to want to run the ball, lower his shoulder, whatever. Okay, fine. You better be willing to meet him there and let him know it's going to be a long night if the plan is just for him to try and run on Notre Dame. You let him know. It's going to be a long night. A long night. Liam. Show us your face.
Show us your face. We want to see your face. Who said that? You want to see my face? Come on, brother.
Hey, what are you guys doing for the 4th of July?
Drugs and alcohol.
I love my sound drops, bro. I love it. Oh, this is another good one, too. The fire alarm batteries. I got to tell you, Mason, for a second there, I thought I was just hearing that, and I was being beamed up to Star Wars land or whatever, where for no reason at all a Sasquatch is in our spaceship. Like I just hear that chirp. I'm with you. I thought for a second I was being beamed up to wherever Star Wars takes place. I still need someone to explain to me how a Sasquatch has anything to do with it. I don't understand. November 7th, Christian Gray will be attacked again. Good Gray, bad Gray. Like, isn't that the thing? Good Gray, bad Gray. Too grabby. He gets beat. He's way too grabby. You know the best way to do that? Don't get beat enough that you got to grab all the time. Too grabby, man. And you're only going to get away with it for so long. Too grabby. Way too grabby. Serge and then Tyler. What's up, Serge?
John, what's going on, man?
Number one is I love that logo. I forgot about those. That's fantastic.
Bring
Son
it
of a
back.
fuck.
I should have done a 4th of July themed one, but I'll do that next year.
Yeah, that's great. Serge, what's on your mind, buddy? I love this. We're catching a different batch of people that I think their schedules allowed them to join today. Angela Rudiger, safe travels. I know you're heading down our way. Drive safe. Have fun with the kids. Always good to have a Rudiger here. Love you, Rudy. Serge, what's up, brother?
Yeah, man. Yeah, would love to call in more, but as work's gotten busier, peeling away, and typically have morning calls and meetings. But hey, glad you did the Friday. I wouldn't have blamed you if you took the day off. But so got a few just quick side notes. I'm gonna knock those out first because it's
sure.
And then I got a 4th of July themed Notre Dame topic for us. And I'm
that's fantastic. I like where this is headed.
So first off, BYU, I can't give it mind share. It's like, dude, what are the bodies they've brought in versus the ones we've brought in? You look at coaching staffs versus coaching staffs. They're a respectable team. It's a good venue. They should be scrappy the first 2-3 quarters. All else I'm going to say is if it's not a double-digit win, like what the hell? So moving on from that.
Hold on, one thing on that. Am I being a lazy fan for having the opinion that I have no patience for a struggle there after the first 6 games that are relatively light, where you're going to be able to gain momentum, try things out while you're winning games against lower level teams? Like, am I being a lazy fan? Number one, for counting those first 6 games is easy. And number two, for being like, I need you to be ready for your first big moment when it comes in game 7. You need to be ready for that.
And maybe at some point I'll get bored the next few weeks or months, and I'll go look through the teams we're playing and kind of flip through coaching changes. I have little to no familiarity. I just pulled BYU's, and it's like, okay, their 26 recruiting or transfer class was ranked 39. Hey, whatever. Point being is teams can turn over and change so much in a year. So, I don't like Michigan State. I would really hope that in year 1 under the Fighting Fitzgeralds, we don't get that would be terrible. So I don't know. I think you're giving the proper respect to a lot of the teams. It's very similar to a lot of
that Pat Fitzgerald thing, man. That Pat Fitzgerald thing. Never liked Notre Dame. Mad Notre Dame didn't want him. Then he beats Notre Dame as a player. He beats Notre Dame as a coach, both with Northwestern. Like, if there is anyone who will pull out all the stops to beat a Notre Dame team, it is Patty Fitzgerald, who has a bad history with Notre Dame.
Dude, and it's like, look, man, this is I hope Freeman does what he did, and I'm sure he will. With that fancy new facility that we I saw some of the pictures in the Patreon. I was like,
dude, it looks awesome. Does it? It looks so modern. It's hard for me to believe it's in South Bend. Like, that was I knew it would be nice. And when Notre Dame does projects, it's always classy and above board. And I know all that. But I genuinely looked at it and I was like, man, I'm just not used to that level of modernity in South Bend. Like, awesome.
Yeah, it's we as a society don't really build like awesome European style cathedrals, but damn it, we can build a nice football facility. So anyway, was kind of lost my train. So moving on from all of that, I don't want to dwell on that too much if you don't mind. The Mons,
sure.
So I was looking at the whole like Trey. I'm gonna butcher his last name, just not even gonna try. So I was like, all right, I'm not a film junkie. I played football, but I by no means have like a coaching mindset towards it. And I was like, okay, let me go look at Champ. Let me go look at Trey. There was a throw that Champ had, and he was like kind of hanging out in the 48-yard line, like his 48-yard line, does a little step, and then just sails this ball into the back right corner of the end zone. That thing had to have traveled 60, 70 yards or something. And it was just in the one perfect spot where it wasn't out of bounds and only his receiver could get it. I'm like, so you talk about having somebody like that with Will Fuller, Julius Jones Jr. being a Will Fuller type, so I'm like, there's so much to be excited about. So I just think the Mons thing will be in good hands there at the quarterback position. We just got to make sure Mons doesn't bust loose, and we'll be good to go there. One other thing, I meant to put a chat in on this. So I love seeing us pull players out of the South, especially living outside Atlanta, SEC country, as you would obviously imagine. I do have to dispute, though, the Segan Alexander kid that we just got. He's from Rabun Gap. That is like basically North Carolina mountains. So we can't quite, I don't know if that one counts. I think he plays all like North Carolina little schools. Somebody can corroborate that if I'm wrong. My bad. But nonetheless, very excited. That dude looks like a beast. So very glad to have him.
Yeah. So, and you can't question the Simeon one. I love winning that from LSU and A&M. That's a big time get.
Yep. That was big time for sure. So last of the side notes, then on to the main topic. For your soundboard, quick request. And can we add some, I'm surprised we don't have any Borat on there. Very nice.
Dude, I think I do have some Borat on there. It's just a matter of like what
Don't
it's
get
a
me
matter
wrong.
of
This Bixby makes me crack up every time, like a 12-year-old that I am at heart. So, by all means.
What? Oh.
I got a Borat one with with Brent Musburger. Whoa.
What? Oh.
Too funny.
That is a good one.
What the hell is even that?
That's not it. Yeah, you're right. I do need some more Borat. Good point. Very nice.
All right. So side notes out of the way. With it being 4th of July weekend, I think it's the perfect time to talk just briefly. I don't want to piss off anybody in the chat. I think we should talk about Notre Dame independence, though.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Where is that headed? Is Notre Dame's arc of independence closing on us? What's going to happen with this scheduling? What happens if Texas backs out of their game? Does that make Alabama and Auburn and Florida back out of their games with Notre Dame? Where is this headed?
So this is one of those things, and generally speaking, I love to at least try. It's always easier said than done, but at least try to stand on either side of an argument. And I think you intuitively do that too quite a bit, and that's a lot of the reason why you end up in the middle with Notre Dame nuance. So I know this one is less nuance, a little bit more of a dogmatic Notre Dame thing. I get that. This is coming from the frame of reference of a 32-year-old fan, so I didn't grow up in the, hey, we only had 6 channels and Notre Dame was always on, and we were always playing these amazing schedules, and it was like every team we played's top 25, yada, yada. So my big question is, do you look at independence as the tradition itself, or is it the means that we use to build tradition in decades past? I want to start there.
Ooh, that's interesting. Run it by me again. Let me get that one again.
So obviously I know why, with the whole the ghost of Fielding Yost, I get all that stuff, the back history or backstory. So is independence, was that the tradition itself, or was it the means that at the time helped us build our tradition? Which I look at tradition as, hey, we played high profile teams coast to coast. We would win most of them, and we stacked up national championships. That to me is Notre Dame tradition, not necessarily the fact that we were independent.
Yeah, because I think the independence was looked at as an inconvenience and a negative at first, right? Like an extra hurdle. Now we're going to have to travel all over to fill out a schedule and go all the way to New York by train and LA and everything else. Like it was looked at as a negative. And then it turned into the best thing that could have ever happened for Notre Dame, spreading that brand coast to coast. I doubt anybody knew that was going to be the immediate result when they had to do it at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And hey, it obviously worked out. And if you would ask me, what's up,
Serge? Here's where I struggle with this, because I live in two realities at the same time. I love that independence, being different, doing it our way, like all that kind of, I love all the different teams we play from all these different conferences in a year, all the travel miles is a sense of pride. We'll go anywhere. I love all that. However, I would be lying if I didn't tell you a Notre Dame Big Ten schedule wouldn't be 100 times more awesome than what we're doing now with the 5-game ACC thing. Like, a Notre Dame Big Ten schedule would be amazing, and it would get you USC back. However, you got to give up that independence to get there. That hurts.
And that's kind of why I wanted to soften up what I feel like is the weakest part of the argument for independence is it a tool or is it tradition? Or is it both? I don't know. Maybe Notre Dame nuance. I don't know. So,
or could you, man, I think about it. I think there are times when the independence thing helps Notre Dame, and there are times where it hurts Notre Dame, and it just depends on what we're talking about and what's going on now, which side it falls on. But I think there's been cases where it's helped and hurt.
And this loops back to something else too. So football, for better or worse, oftentimes worse, is very institutional in the same way that you look at Fortune 500 companies in any industry. You give an open market long enough, there will be people that rise to the top. Companies end up buying out all their competitors, or they just strangle them in the crib. They don't even get out the door, and they're just permanent, like immovable objects, essentially. We've kind of arrived at that point with the Big Ten and with SEC. That's just, sure, it's an opinion. I kind of look at that as just, I think most would agree that's objective fact. That said, for Notre Dame to do its thing as an independent, which I'm all for seeing it do that, or seeing us do that, because over the years, people be like, oh, join a conference. And my little stupid retort would be, it's like, look, man, I like my team, like my country. I like it independent. All right. So, and
Nice.
so anyway, I've fought that argument with people in the South, like literally my whole life, for football wise. Notre Dame as an institution is very, very impressive. And I'm just underlining the opinions we've said it on these shows collectively over the last weeks and months. That is the single thing that is clearly different versus, Swamp Thing or anybody else before, where it's like, oh, I didn't realize that the NBC or the Peacock deal and the Under Armour deal. Look, man, if those things are bankrolling NIL and you combine that with somebody that was, like, oh, Freeman's just all of a sudden a great recruiter. It's like, he was always a great recruiter. He's now not, he's fighting without two hands tied behind his back, and look what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. And especially if the playoffs, how is it like a foregone conclusion, by the way, that we're going to 24? How like dead set is that? What's next steps on?
I don't, it certainly sounds that way. I think it sounds that way. It's just a matter of when, but that's what it sounds like to me.
And so that I say we hold the line until that solidifies one way or another, because I think teams will have a sense of, like, a made up term here I'm going to off the cuff come up with, like, loss tolerance. 16, or if we go from 12 and then 16, you might have a little bit more wiggle room. Like 24, you might be able to get a rotation where we get, because I grew up loving the Michigan game, the Michigan State game. Those were fun. Obviously USC, all of our rivals. Navy, I would love to see go every other year. Conversation for another day. That game, love the tradition. Damn, that game drives me nuts though.
I'm right there with you. I love the tradition, hate the gameplay.
So I'm like, Navy week. All right, let's do this. I'm going to watch it anyway. But so anyway, I think if we go 24, it takes the teeth out of an argument to join the Big Ten, unless for some reason the NBC and Under Armour stuff dries up and all of the Notre Dame, 9-figure Notre Dame alumni and the boosters decide, like, until we need the Big Ten to prop up Notre Dame as an institution, which we won't really know for a couple of years. The scheduling thing's the biggest thing. These schedules right now are trash, man. Like, we're hyping up this. BYU should be a team that we're stressing about only because it's sandwiched in between two games that are much bigger games.
Yeah. They
would be like the trap game in a lot of years. Now they're our Texas A&M of the year. Like, give me a break. So anyway, that's some of the thoughts I had spouting off here. I'd been meaning to call.
So what do you want Bavacqua to do? Keep in mind, Bavacqua, the former TV exec, by the way, if anybody should have an idea or an inkling where this is all headed in the future, you would like it to be your young AD that has experience in that business. So what do you want to see him do? Hold the line now, do your lame 5-game ACC thing, hold the line, see what the new circumstance is, and then reevaluate where you're at, whether you need to make any changes or not at that point. Do you think that's the prudent move by Bavacqua right now?
Yeah. And if it's because these games you got to think, these games get scheduled so far out in advance. And so let's say 6 months from now, and again, I haven't looked into the whole like ruling on the 24 team, when that's going to happen. Somebody's gonna have to call in and talk about that. But let's say it's like, okay, well, starting 2029 or 2030, we're going to 24 teams. Like, all right, great. Then let's go give Bavacqua and the athletic department 12 months to go build out schedules for the future and see if teams all of a sudden might have a little bit more tolerance for doing a Notre Dame non-conference game, as opposed to like the Indiana model where they're just playing, and I'm pick on Indiana, but lots of teams are doing like 3 trash non-conference games, maybe one decent one, and that's it. So I think that's what it is. Maybe we just suffer for the, I call it suffer, but yeah, we grin and bear it with some lame schedules.
Okay. So, but what do you do if Texas cancels and then Alabama follows that by canceling? And then before you know it, the Florida and the Auburn series go bye-bye. Like you already don't have a USC. What do you do then? Like, does that corner Notre Dame to have to figure something else out? Texas could be that first big SEC domino to fall. Then what?
So I kind of look at, well, I think Sark is probably have to class. You definitely, sorry, I should caveat, definitely have to look at him as a better coach results wise than Lincoln Riley. But he has some Lincoln Riley energy to me. I don't know if that's just me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Lincoln Riley is an OC faking like a head coach. I think he's a quarterback guy faking as head coach. That's my thought.
Yeah. And hey, quarterback whisperer for Lincoln Riley too. He's probably in that. It's the same kind of box. It might be a big box, but they're in the same general box to me. Who's to say, just to steel man the other side for a second, who's to say that because Texas drops out, who's to say Florida, because it's not like Florida has all these playoff and championship hopes and pressure. They're like us in all of the 2010s years. We're like, well, I really want to win a championship, but like deep down, we know we probably don't actually have a shot. So
yeah, or like you can, you know what I'm sick of is people saying they want to win one, but not actually doing the steps it takes to make that more of a reality. And that's where Notre Dame was for a long time. We want to win, but you're not doing the things it takes to put yourself in position to make that a reality. I think Florida seems like they're getting serious. They got the new coach. They're starting to recruit better. Maybe Florida is going to be a renewed factor in the SEC moving forward. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I think the same could be said for a lot of programs. I actually don't know. This will be interesting too, to deviate from the Babakwa thing for just a sec. I think it'll be interesting to see, as going back to the institutional thing, like high school football. Holy shit, man. Like the amount of money getting poured into all of these programs, the more, gotta love private equity, right? So the more like money dumps into all these programs, are we going to be at a point 5-10 years from now where you have 12 programs competing for, there's always going to be a top 300, obviously, but is the drop off from, the 300 best recruit to 500 and 1,000, who's to say that doesn't sort of flatten? There might be more quality players out there, that then more programs who are, who's to say there's not going to be 25 or 50 teams that are investing the way that teams are investing now. So anyway, the good news is regardless, Notre Dame's got to jump on a lot of, if not most of other programs out there. You can't just say, all right, 5 years from now, we're going to start spending and just automatically catch up to what teams have been doing for the last 10.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it'll always just truly be, oh, well, it's just the same stupid 12 teams beating everybody. Like, that would still be better than Alabama and Georgia running everything the way they used to.
Yeah. Listen, if it does end up where only 10 or 12 teams have the money to buy the top 200 recruits or whatever, I don't think that's good for the sport, but I'll feel better about it if we're in that 10 or 12. You know what I mean?
Yep. And hey, I don't know if I'm holding up anybody backstage from coming on. I just had one other question for you.
Sure.
Are there any other thoughts on your Irish mind that are keeping you up at night that you haven't let loose recently? I'm just curious if I can help you talk you off the ledge a little bit on anything.
Here's something that's such a good question, by the way. Thank you for but although the journey into my Irish mind is a dangerous one.
Yeah, I'm got a helmet on. We're good.
Here's what I think about a lot. Even if you were the team that thinks you have a title shot, or like a year where it's obvious you have the most returning talent or the best quarterback, even if you're entering a year feeling supremely confident, there are so many things that still have to go just right for you to be able to actually deliver on that. That's what's on my mind. Like, I feel like Notre Dame's actual title chances are way higher with this group than they have been. But so many things still got to go right. You got to have injury luck. There's always a couple games that get goofy and you need to pull them out at the end. Like Indiana had a couple of those where they could have lost to Iowa or Penn State, but then they pulled it out and then everybody moves on. Like even in a year where you love it and think you have a shot, so many things still have to go right. I'm struggling to find peace with that in a year that I think Notre Dame's in that group. A lot of things still got to go right. And I struggle with that because it's just the unknown.
Yeah. You think about Bama in 2011, 2012, generational team, obviously, could have just as easily lost to Georgia in the national championship and they don't make the Natty. Clemson walked the tightrope. LSU walked the tightrope. I think Texas Texas took them down to the wire with the Joe Burrow team. So, to your point, for sure, I think the number one thing to take solace in is I can't objectively look at much and say that we're doing something that isn't stacking win probability in our favor. Like, during games, do you pull up that stupid ESPN app during games? There's that little, I can't even look at the win percentage thing anymore because I swear it just jinxes itself. But it's like if you envision that little win probability marker, Notre Dame's they still got to go roll the ball out and do their thing, but we got a better shot. That's but that is hard to come to terms with, So
so that's what I think about is even in this year where I think like whatever you envision our title odds to be are higher this year than usual, a lot has to go right, and I think about that, and it's just it's all setting up for a big year. They got to deliver. Freeman and Carr especially, you got to deliver.
Yep. And I'm sorry, this is my last question, I promise. The next time there's a Domer debate, what do you think the topic will be?
We got some good ones. We threw that out on the Patreon chat, some of the debate about like whether it's Freeman or Carr's level or those running backs or like how much we trust Ash. Like we're going to try and get some good stuff going, but those are some of the juicy topics. But yeah, this will be, I love the willingness our group has to debate and put themselves out there. I appreciate it.
Yep. No, those are fun. So, all right, man. Well, you have a great holiday weekend as well as all the listeners out there. Everybody stay safe, have a good time, and hope the rain leaves everybody alone. So catch you later, John.
Serge, really, really good stuff. Thanks for all the support, man. Have a good holiday weekend, buddy.
Thank you, brother. See ya.
Have a good one. Man, I like having some mixing up the callers here. Tyler going to come up next. It could have the reverse effect where even mediocre teams water down their schedule so they have a shot at 9-3 in the back end of the playoffs. I'm assuming you're referencing if it's a 24 bracket, you could sneak in there at 9-3. Here's my thought on this. I'm with you, Andrew. The prevailing narrative, I think, has been if this thing goes to 24, teams are going to feel like they have more breathing room where you can afford another loss and still make the playoff. So you would be more willing to jump out of conference, play a tough Notre Dame series, home and home or whatever, with the idea being you have to be less perfect and you can afford another loss and still make it. I can see it going the other way. Teams that don't want to play Notre Dame now, they're still not going to want to then because then it will be more about favorable seeding. So it won't be, I'm worried if we lose to Notre Dame, we're out of the playoff. But then that worry will transition into we want to get one of those top 8 bye games or the top seeding for a home game or whatever. So like, if you're that worried about that problem, I still think you might be, but it wouldn't be about making the field. It would be about the best positioning. And why do we, if we're an SEC or a Big Ten team specifically, even if they have lighter conference schedules, they're going to be tough enough. It won't be held against you. So I don't know, man. Beef says, oh, Johnny, did you ask everybody on Patreon to post pictures of dudes wearing sandals or flip-flops? I know. It's 110 degrees. So this is going to be the weekend where the hooves are going to be loose. More bunions than Paul walking around town. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Tyler, what's going on? Welcome.
Hey, John. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. What's on your mind, my friend, on the holiday weekend? I like this. We're mixing it up with a different group of calls. It's beautiful. What's up?
I've been really thinking about this a lot recently.
Oh.
there hasn't, it's been a really long time since we've came into a season with maybe this level of hype, expectation, national, recognition. What does this do to us? Like, do we see a team that comes out there and backs it up? Or is it kind of more the same old, same old? Maybe we have a sleepy day early in the year. I just don't know how this is going to affect us and how like the program is like feeling that maybe tension out there.
That is, it's so weird that you bring that up. I was thinking about that last night during the Sox game for some reason. This was in my head. I was reading some Notre Dame articles while I had the ball game on. It's a totally different thing when you're one of the favorites and you're not a chaser, but when you're one of the teams getting all the hype. And there's been some Freeman moments where they don't handle momentum very well or don't handle being a favorite or a moment you think should be easier. It's a lot of pressure, specifically on the head coach and the quarterback. How are they going to handle this? And how do you straddle the line of confident but not cocky? Where is that line you can tiptoe up to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you got off the previous caller talking about Freeman and CJ. Those are the two head positions, right, on the whole team. So do we see a calm CJ? Do we see a CJ that's just ready to go? Or do you kind of see a CJ that maybe has a little pressure on him and you can kind of sense that and see how he's playing?
It's
So
interesting. It's
Mhm.
interesting because when you talk about Carr and like some of these throws and like some of the gifts that he has to be able to do this stuff, like some of Notre Dame's success this year, a lot of it is going to be based on his head, his emotions, how he handles the ups and downs of these games. And it's like I don't know the answer to that. It was only his first year as the starter. You would like to think there's a lot more confidence and comfort in year two, but I've never been in this position.
Mm-hmm. And I think it'll be a little bit different for CJ, right? Like last year, yes, he was the guy. He beat out Kenny, but it was his first year, so there was a little grace on him, from our side of things, right? He played really well, but how does it change this year two, thinking, okay, you've been in the system for 3 years, you are clearly the guy. Do we see that confident player that we expect, or do we see kind of a little hesitancy maybe because of, hey, I got to really play well. I'm this, top 5 projected maybe pick. Notre Dame, the expectations here are playoff or title. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that all plays out.
And you know what I tie into that discussion is the early schedule, because if you manage it correctly, Notre Dame has a great chance to build a lot of team momentum and team confidence in that first half. You're going to be favored by double digits in most of those games. Like Notre Dame has the perfect opportunity to build momentum in an opposite way of we are 0-2 and now we have to win out. We have all that pressure and everybody's shitting on us. Like you could do the opposite and be a top 3 team when you're 5-0 or 6-0 or whatever, going to BYU. How do you handle that moment? Like for Carr, this is why you come to Notre Dame as a quarterback, to be in this moment with people talk about the title in the NFL draft and the Heisman and everything and all that pressure. This is why you wanted to commit to Notre Dame as a quarterback. It's time to deliver, baby.
Yeah, totally time to deliver. Yeah. I mean, everybody talks down about the schedule. What if 4 or 5 or 6 of these teams are bowl eligible, right? I don't think that's far-fetched. So I don't think the schedule is maybe as weak as some people think. I look at these teams and you could easily have 4, 5, 6 teams that are bowl eligible at the end of it. So
It's fair.
I truly think we've talked about this, you and I, before on calls. These first 6 games before BYU, it's a prove it type thing to me. Have you guys turned that page on? We're not messing around. We're going to take care of business. This is going to be wrapped up in the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah. Sleepy Rice in week 2 at home. Are you over that problem? Like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, even though it's Rice, like, are you coming out with the proper juice to get the job done early and get those younger players in? Or are we kind of flirting around a little bit still? So I don't know, man. It just seems like everything's firing on all cylinders. Now we just got to see it on the field.
Yeah, man, it is. This is a big opportunity. And here's the other problem I have a roadmap for this season, like in my head, what I want it to look like rolling through the first half of those games or whatever. If something goes bad on us, it's going to change the whole thing. If you slip up anywhere before Miami, everything here changes, including BYU. Like this schedule's a fine line between a bye in the playoff and the Pop-Tarts Bowl. It's a fine line.
We're always in the same position, aren't we? It's we're never squarely on one side of the line. It's always right in the middle.
Yeah, it is. It's time to deliver, and I can't wait to get there. And I just want to see how the guys handle this. I want to see how they handle this. Like the frustration about last year ended, the confidence they have in themselves, their teammates, and their coaches. Like I want to see what that translates to on the field in this particular year.
Yeah, same here. Same here. And I feel like we do have a pretty veteran squad on both sides of the ball, along with a bunch of young talent. So it's like, okay, what's the identity and the mentality that we're going to see as fans on that field? And I think we're going to know pretty quick, right? We have two of our first three games are night games. So that's exciting. The boys are going to have some energy just naturally baked into this. But it goes back to my first question. Say those first initial polls come out, and I know they don't mean anything. They mean zero. They probably shouldn't even have them. But what if we're 1, 2, or 3 to start the year?
Yeah.
You know, those the players see that regardless of what we think. So how does that affect how things go? So it's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be a fun season.
And in figuring out how much of the messaging of like we're mad about last year, like how much of that is BS and how much of this is like sticking. And the other thing I think about is how much of it is up to the player leadership to determine what this is all like, what that vibe is like, and still having fun out there, but trying to kick people's heads in at the same time. I just want to see how this particular group all comes together because it has a chance to be really different, really special.
And that's what I keep going back to too. It seems like this is setting up to be a very special season. Of course, expectations are always high from us on this side, but it just seems like this could be a really special year and also just a really fun year to watch. Like I think it's going to be very, very exciting, and we're going to see some good football. So just looking forward to it.
Think about this too, man. Think about the difference in the Notre Dame ecosystem, the fan base, the media, everybody doing what I'm doing and all this kind of content and stuff. Think about the difference between you started out 0-2 last year. Think about what that does for the rest of the year compared to if they are able to go into BYU 6-0. You know what I mean? Like the whole setup is going to be different if you just don't start out with immense failure. You know, like the whole thing will be different.
Yeah, dude. And it's a super valid point. I don't think we've got into a year in the last few years, at least, where we're 4, 5, 6, 7-0.
Right.
Like we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's on Marcus's checkbox of the list to start the season hot and just let's not slip up anywhere. So, but as those wins start racking up, right, and there's no losses in that loss column yet, more and more pressure keeps getting added. So you said it just a second ago. How does the team handle it?
Yeah.
I think this team's mature. They've got that.
Here's how I think about it. If you did that, it's more and more pressure, but you're also building more and more confidence because it isn't in theory anymore. You are collecting wins and kicking the shit out of people. So like, how do you navigate all that as it builds, And Freeman teams, by the way, historically, they get better as the year goes along. He's had problems earlier in the year, and then they level out and usually play really good football later. Like, does that still hold in a year like this with a different schedule setup? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then the players are feeling, oh well, your first big game's BYU, okay, and you know how they were mad that we didn't play them or whatever. There's just so many angles here where we can find sources of external motivation to be like, look, this is a different Notre Dame program. Not only is the recruiting and the coaching staff all different, us as players, it's different on the field too. So I'm just hyped. You know, Georgia, Bama, they're used to coming into seasons like this with expectation. Notre Dame is one of those teams now, right? Those top 3, 4, 5 teams. This is what we wanted. So let's go see what we got.
Yeah, it is. Man, this is going to be fun, and I'm excited about it. And this could be something truly different, but the team's got to go deliver. Tyler, you're the man. Be careful. Don't blow off any digits. Don't put it in reverse. All that.
I gotta show up to the tailgate with all 10 fingers, so no fireworks for me.
I thought you were going to say you're going to show up to the tailgate with fireworks. Now there's something. Hey, John, drink these 10 Miller Lights and go light that Roman candle, bro.
We might get kicked out of the north lot.
Hey, have a good one, man. Thanks to you and your family for all the ongoing support. You guys are awesome. Have a relaxing holiday weekend, buddy.
Thanks, John. You too.
Have a good one, man. Really, really good calls today. I love the mixing it up here with different people. Guessing John will never see barefoot in the park. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. And again, I'm on the record with this. There's nothing more attractive than a good-looking woman with like beautiful manicured feet and everything looks nice and it matches the outfit and the whole thing with shoes and the nails. Like, I love a cute girl's feet is not the issue here. It's these nasty dude hooves that I have no patience for. Cover them up. Cover them up. Luis, you're the man. What up, baby?
What's up, John? I'm trying to cover them. What's up, my boy? How you doing, boss?
What's going on, man? It's been a while. What's on your mind?
Man, there's a lot that's on my mind. Let me try to figure this out real quick. Well, so let's start off with a couple stuff, boss.
Okay.
College football has a big problem.
Okay.
Let me try. And that problem is Marcus Freeman. Because I don't know if you've seen his interview, but he ain't going nowhere. So college football, you all notice and stop talking your shit that he's leaving after this year because he ain't going nowhere. He's staying at Notre Dame, and you got a big mother effing problem with that, and you don't like it. So shut the fuck up with that and get ready to see Notre Dame put belt to ass for many years to come, and Nick Saban danger is going to come to an end because we have the best coach in the country, and you don't like it. So stop talking your shit. And now let's round up. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to play some real football because football season's coming around, my boys. We ain't playing around and we ain't joking around. I'm glad that guy left. The sooner the better. Let's get another quarterback into the team and let's start building that 2028 season because if you're seeing, we're stacking talent. This is what Notre Dame is. It's shut up. All you that never seen Notre Dame like this, you're not a real Notre Dame fan. We are ND. Player we want, player we get. And that's why we've always been frustrated with Kelly, with the other dumbass that we had, and all these other stupid coaches that we had, except for Charlie Weiss. He just didn't have it together. You know what I mean? We can get the talent. And we're showing you that we are that talent. We will get that talent. We just needed the administration and everybody in ND Nation to back us up. And we got that coach that we want. And you're starting to see we're getting everything we wanted because that's what Notre Dame is about. There is no better place in this country. There is no better institution. There's no better university than the Notre Dame University.
Woo. Do you feel better now that you got that out?
Oh, man, I've been waiting to pop off like this for a long time, John, especially when I've been seeing all these people. And then I don't know who you had the other day. Oh, Brian Kelly's leaving after this year. Brian Kelly's gone. Brian Kelly is. I mean, Freeman's gone. That he is that what's his name? Agent spill the beans. Well, you know what? It don't look like that, my boy. It looks like you got a big problem. And if you ain't a Notre Dame fan, then get the hell out of here, bro. Shit, stop talking your spiel and stop talking your shit. If you love Notre Dame, then we need to be, as a fan, support this team 110%.
Woo, Luis. So what's fueling this? Is the long off season finally getting to you where you're ready for football to be back and you're like, is that what it is? What's got you popping up? Is it just like you're ready to see what this is going to be rather than us BSing about what it could be? Are you just ready to get the answers, the data?
Yeah, I want that. You know what I mean? And I think as a fan, we've been in misery for 30 something years, right? Except for the last 2 years. This is when I first called your show. The very first time I called your show, I said, let Marcus Freeman get his people. Let him get his own coaching staff. Let him get his own recruits, and you're going to see what Notre Dame's about. I'm just tired of people that, well, I never saw that. I never lived it. Well, you know what? There's a history book. Read it. Open it up. Know what Notre Dame is. Notre Dame would walk at any recruit that would walk, or a recruiter would walk at any high school, and a player saw an ND logo, guess what? Everybody else vanished. Friday Night Lights is a perfect example what Notre Dame used to be in the 80s and the early 90s. And when I was growing up, I saw that personally. I saw that with Leroy Easter, Tyrone, CJ Thomas, when Nebraska, Miami all showed up, but there was one guy that showed up. I was 14 years old. I was a freshman in high school. When I saw that Notre Dame guy walk up, and you just saw the coaches put their head down and just start walking away. That was one of the things that I fell in love with Notre Dame. And everybody else that doesn't know, or that cry about how, because you still have some loyal Brian Kelly people. Like, I'm being dead serious on that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? He ain't here no more, my boy. So either you with Marcus Freeman or get the fuck out. It's that simple for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of your ass over here advocating about Brian. Brian Kelly got nothing to do with this shit no more, my boy. This is Marcus Freeman's team. And if you haven't seen what he's been doing on his own, then you got a personal problem. But boy, when you start talking your shit about my coach, you're going to get me fired up real quick. I'll go 0 to 100 real quick. And miss me with that, my boy. I'm just happy. And I am praising the Lord that we got a coach that we've been waiting for decades. And it just mind boggles me. It mind boggles me when people go, oh, well, Notre Dame couldn't get the recruits. Notre Dame was shopping, and I was like, man, hell no, bro. Notre Dame is fancy as hell. And if you don't know what fine wine is, my boy, let me tell you one thing. The older you get, the finer you get. And that's exactly what Notre Dame is doing right now. The more Freeman just starts seasoning himself into Notre Dame, and the whole entire administration, the university, how everybody's backing him up, you're starting to see that Notre Dame logo. This logo right here, my boy. This logo. Win, lose, or draw, whatever the hell it is, I stand on business with them. You know what I mean? And I just hate these bandwagon fans that we have that all of a sudden, oh, well, you know, can he do it next year? What haven't you not seen? Each year is just stacking and stacking and stacking. It was better than last year. Better than that. Last year, they knew we should not let Notre Dame in because they're gonna win a national championship. Let's just eliminate one championship right now while we can. That's all that shit was last year. Because they know that if we would have been in the playoffs, man, and another thing too, Signetti and all them Indiana people, you don't got 25-year-old men playing anymore. 27, 28-year-old playing against 18, 20-year-old men. So that was a one-year wonder type of shit, and you knew the loophole, how to take advantage of that shit. And I'm going to tell you right now, next year and the following years, Indiana's only going to be maybe average a 10-2 or an 8-14. That's what they're going to be. And I don't want to hear none of y'all shit talk your shit again. Because after that, miss me with that. Because there's going to be Notre Dame and Notre Dame only.
Woo! Baby. Man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You're on a summer heater.
Absolutely, boss. Like, man, it's just like I told you, bro. Like, I've been watching. I've just been listening. I've been going through my own stuff. You know what I mean? Like, boy, but when I start hearing all these dumb people that calling up and talking their shit about how, oh, Freeman's gone after this year, and then the word is out, and this and that. The word ain't out, my boy. All Marcus Freeman showed you is that if you got the right man at Notre Dame, this is what Notre Dame can do. You know what I'm saying? And if he does leave eventually, hey, he did what I wanted him to do, is rebrand and restore the University of Notre Dame. And if you don't understand that, there's going to be coaches that are going to line up for this job because they're going to see what can happen at Notre Dame. And that's why Lou Holtz, grandpappy of all pappies, the pappy of all pappies, let everybody know what this Notre Dame team, what this Notre Dame University was about. But we got a coach that loves the university, understands the university, respects the university, and does everything like the Holy Bible's supposed to be. Because baby Jesus, no, I wouldn't do it. Damn well I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I love baby Jesus, and I love the university, but goddamn, you give me that much fun, boy, I'm going to act you like a fool. just like I'm acting like a fool right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll be talking shit all day. All day I'll be talking shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be telling them, F you and your mama, motherfucker. This is Notre Dame. And that's exactly what I do every time I go to football games. I let everybody know, man, we stand on business, bro. We cooking. We, enjoy all these meals that we're getting right now. And you know what? We got 12 weeks of guaranteed football. And that's something that he always said. I love that he says that. And he did bring the golden standard to Notre Dame. And he reestablished the brand of the University of Notre Dame. And now it's just back them up. Enjoy the moment, man. Like, we're over here complaining about how, he has to win this national championship. There's a lot of factors that come with that, my boy. Injuries, health, scheduling, et cetera, et cetera. There's no we have no excuses. We don't. We have no excuses. I think everything is lined up for us to make it to the national championship. If anything, to win it all. But the most important thing, like I saw CJ Carr outshine what's his name? Nephew, Arch Manning? Is that his name? Well, I thought he was the golden boy. I thought they had all them fools over there in Texas and Alabama and all that shit. Notre Dame couldn't get a quarterback like that. Well, guess what? We got one, son of a bitch. We got one. You know what I'm saying? So ride with it, boy. What else do you want? This kid is doing what the University of Notre Dame is supposed to be doing and representing us to the fullest. He ain't acting like a fool. He ain't acting like me. You know what I'm saying? And I dare you to talk some shit someone over there. I swear to God, because I will run into you and I'll talk my shit to your face. You know what I'm saying? Right now is let's be proud and let's be happy that we have an exciting season to come up upon us. And let's enjoy the 12 weeks that we have. Enjoy every moment of it. I don't know if this is his last year, and I don't know if anything. I firmly believe that he's going to be around for 5 to 10 more years. And if he just wins one, oh, my boy. Oh, bet. Run that. I'm telling you right now, run it. Because Marcus Freeman ain't going nowhere. And I think he kind of let the beans out there in his last interview that I saw from him. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing else that he wants that he can't get at Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? And now we're backing him up with coaches and stuff that other coaches couldn't have before. He's finally having that. He's finally having everything that there is that Notre Dame could have been. And this is where I'm really proud at the university. Like I said, guys, do I believe we're going to win it? Yet. And if we don't, that doesn't mean I don't like the guy. I'm just happy that we're doing what we're doing. It's going to come. It's going to come. And it's going to come sooner than we all believe.
Luis, you're the man. I can tell that one's been building up for a little while, man. You're the man. What are you going to do this weekend? Have relax a little bit, little family barbecue. What's the move?
Well, yeah, man, life hits you in different directions, sir. Like it's one of those things that, I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to still have my mom, even though my mom's health is really, really bad. My baby boy he did his MEBS for the Navy yesterday. So as a single parent, I'm kind of going through the motions of like losing my baby boy. You know what I mean? The one that you met at the Indiana game. Yeah. He's leaving to the Navy. So like, I'm really proud of him. And it's just enjoy the moments that I have with my sons, because I'm at that point in life where they're out the nest, both of my sons are out. That's it. And it's, it's me time though. But me time is about, boy, I'm telling you, as soon as I get over this case that I'm fighting, I'm going to be at just about every football game there is. Yeah. If not, I'm going to be at every playoff game. I don't care where it is at. If it's in Miami, I'm going to be in some tantarans and some Speedos, and I'm going to be having Andy all over me and shit. I'm going to be like, what's up, mamacita? I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Yo, boy is here acting like a fool. You know what I'm saying? I got no more kids, so I'll be acting like a kid and a fool at the same time.
Luis, you're the man, dude. You're the man. Have a good weekend. Be safe. And then we're going to pop Renee up here and we'll wrap it up with Renee. My boy in there, the president of Always Irish textile community that we got going on, my boy. Let him have it, my boy. Luis, you're the man. Have a good weekend, brother. We'll talk. Love the energy.
Happy 4th of July, guys.
See ya. Oh, man. Renee,
John,
what's up? That's a tough
what's up,
act
baby?
to follow, bro.
Oh, it is, huh? Look at it. Hey, John, look at it. I'm going to show you a thing or two, John, because...
Oh, look at this.
Hey, look at that. Woo! Here come the Irish, baby. No.
Dude, I just
Doesn't he always light it up, man? He always...
working. working, man. I just love you guys being able to do something outside of work.
Yeah, man. He comes with great energy, man, and he always is a tough act to follow. It's been some good calls and some good things on the chat. I'm gonna grab a few questions for you though, big dog.
Yeah.
But remember, first and foremost, I'm not defending BYU. Like I dislike them just as much as they dislike us. That's why I hate it, man. When I see them and they see me in my Notre Dame boxing, where's it at? Let me see. My Notre Dame boxing shirt, my Notre Dame strength, my Notre Dame hat, in the middle of Happy Valley, you can tell they want to say something. You know, like I tell you, see, that's my favorite shirt right there, man. They want to say something. But sometimes they don't, out of courtesy, or maybe they see that I got a few more tattoos than they do, and it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's like what Richard Pryor said. When that dude comes in hitting himself, he's kicking his own ass. I'm not going to fight him, right? So anyways, but the only thing, like I've said over and over, if I'm going to have some questions, the last 2 games played up here have been decided by 11 points. Back in 02, Willingham's last year, 17-20, and then even the last one in Vegas, 28-20. Although we dominated them statistic-wise, double on the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Hello, are you there?
Yeah. I mean,
Hello?
yeah,
Okay,
these are the
okay.
facts. So you're just trying to show the evidence that BYU plays as tough, right?
Yes, that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And I guess, John, what I'm doing as well, I'm defending Notre Dame because, John, like I tell you, everybody can sit here and say about weak schedule this, weak schedule that. Well, who has a tough schedule? Who does? Georgia, Michigan, Miami. Who does? You know, John. To me, like I've said, I've worked, I've trained with kids, I've coached kids, I've done that, and I guess my argument to this is, okay, this is my argument. Who has a tough schedule? Because last I checked, the SEC needed Oklahoma and Texas to come to them because people started getting hip to the fact that, hey, man, you guys have 3 10-win teams. That's mathematically impossible. How do you guys have 3 10-win teams? You guys put 2 juniors. And like I've said over and over and over, it's not about those schools. It's about the resources that those schools don't have. Southern Utah University, when they play BYU, they don't have the resources that BYU does. You know what I mean? Indiana Institute Haircutting Tech doesn't have the resources that Notre Dame has. So that's all I'm saying is that if we think it's going to be in the walk in the park, I don't think so. And I'm just going to point a few facts because my boy Liam likes the facts, right? In the court of law, they like the facts. 75% winning percentage at home that they have up here in Provo. Night games, I think it's even higher. They lost their wide receiver the year prior, and then even this one that just got those charges thrown out. He came in and, you know what I mean, and did an amazing job for Bear Brockmeyer as his target. Now, Liam said something about, a Georgia Tech team. Well, isn't that same Georgia Tech team that played Georgia to the bone and Georgia needed the help from the refs to help them win? I mean, I'm not blind. I mean, I know I got bad vision, but when I put my hard contacts in, I got 20/25 vision, John. So all I'm saying, I'm defending Notre Dame's honor when I'm telling you guys this. Like I've said, the 3rd place ACC team beat everybody else's booty getting to the national title and lost by 3 points. SMU, did they not make the playoffs 2 years ago? Syracuse, did they not spoil Cam Ward's Heisman Trophy campaign national title run? Yeah, I think they did, right? So in a sense, I'm not defending BYU. I'm defending Notre Dame, and that we play just as tough a schedule as anybody else. Because if you're gonna tell me that the SEC or the Big Ten, hey, USC and Oregon didn't need the Big Ten. They didn't. Oregon's got enough money to go independent and do whatever they want. They choose to go that well, that's on them. USC don't need the Big Ten. They're a national brand too, whether you guys want to admit it or not. 11 national titles, hundreds of consensus All-Americans. Last I checked, a few more recent national titles than us, a few more Heisman winners than us. You know what I mean? Now Notre Dame and USC need each other. That I do agree with. So that's my only argument, John.
So, okay,
Go
Renee.
ahead. Go ahead.
So,
Go
how do you
go.
want Notre Dame to navigate all this? Where is the
Okay.
line between confidence and arrogance when you're thinking about like a BYU on the schedule? Like, I
Okay.
want Notre Dame to be confident, but you can't be overconfident because that's how you lose a game like BYU on the road at night. So, how do you? Is it proper leadership from Freeman and the players? How do you have that focus to be confident but not cocky entering these games?
You know what? I think Luis summed it up, and Marcus summed it up. You stay humble. You know what I mean? You keep the pain from last year. You go in there knowing that. And Homer TD said it best. What's your prediction? Beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Beat Wisconsin, because me and them looked it up. Wisconsin had the #1 ranked strength of schedule last year. So you know what happens when you get your ass kicked as much as you do? Your eyes start getting a little tougher. Your nose doesn't break as fast when you get hit. You know what I'm saying? Your jaw can take a few more punches. So it's like, hey, bro, keep coming because we're coming at you. So Wisconsin, with that, if they have as much returning players as they do, you got to go in there knowing that you got to beat Wisconsin right now, first and foremost. Then Rice, and then the other ones, and then BYU. I think the leadership is there. Remember, that's like I said, in defense. This is all in defense of Notre Dame. It's not me hyping up the other teams. I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm a lifelong Notre Dame fan. I'm not gonna put the ink in my skin if I don't mean it. So this is my defense of Notre Dame, because you guys play a weak schedule. Well, who does Nebraska play? Who does Alabama play? You know, so I'm saying Wisconsin has that taste in their mouth that they've played, the best schedule last year. And last I checked, did we not go after Luke Fickell before Marcus Freeman? Was he not the top candidate? I think he was, right? And is Barry Alvarez not a big influence there, who happens to be a Lou Holtz disciple? Let's not forget those things. And as far as Michigan State, is Max Bola not there? Like, Michigan State ain't what they were with the intent, but is Max Bola not there? Like, can't you absolutely love that coach? And last I checked, isn't the linebackers first read is that running back? Yeah, last I checked when I was coaching, that's what I tell my linebackers. Goolsby will tell you this, or whoever you want to ask as a linebacker will tell you, hey, your first read is that running back and that tight end. Last I checked, we had Max Bola is a very good, animal, charismatic coach, man. I love that dude. So I guess that's what I'm saying. You approach it at every game is crucial. Every game has to be played like it's Miami. You know what I mean? No matter where. Because I'll tell you what, and I shot you in the text message. He was going to leave, and it wasn't for him. He was going to leave because his assistants needed more in their salary. And this is not word of mouth. This is someone that John is very dear close to me. That's dear close to him. You know what I'm saying? So when they have that, when BYU has that type of coach, these boys are going to run through a brick wall for him. You know what I'm saying? And so this is me defending Notre Dame in our schedule. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, unless you're going through like I've told many people, I'd rather run through a gauntlet type schedule. Hey man, I'm not the toughest guy, but you're gonna have to fight me, bro. Real talk. And that's that Irish attitude, man. You know, hey, we're the fighting Irish. We're gonna go everywhere to play. So so that's just my argument. It's gonna be a hostile environment. You know what I mean? Because it's not just as a catfish says. It's not just horse trailers and wife wagons out here, and churning butter.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Hey, I'm with you, man. It's gonna be a real good physical contest there. I'm trying to find the level between confidence and cocky that Notre Dame could straddle to get the most out of the group. But man, it's good to hear from you. It's good to see you and Luis. It's good to have you guys back in here, man. Renee, any 4th of July message for the group?
And just, whatever moments you guys take with your that you guys spend with your friend, take them for granted.
I can't understand you.
Like we said, that we live somewhere where we can celebrate Notre Dame football. You know, where we can come together as a community, whether we agree or disagree, and we got the right to do that, man. I'm on this new trip that, hey man, if this is the last time I see you, I don't want you to get I don't want your last memory of me to be that I'm angry with you or that I'm upset with you or that I could care less about something that doesn't, like, oh, you never paid me back $20 or some stupid shit like that, man. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. That's the trip I'm on these days, man. Enjoy the moment. If this is the last time you guys ever see me, man, know that I love you. My heart lies in South Bend with the Golden Dome, man, and that, man, this is the greatest program in all the land, and we got no better coach to lead us, because it's not just about creating better athletes, but better men, Johnny. So yeah, man, enjoy every moment. Let freedom ring. You know what I mean, and be free from whatever is that's keeping you down mentally, spiritually, physically, man. Johnny,
Renee,
it's gonna be
you're
a good.
the man.
What's
Really,
up, buddy?
really good message, man. Have a good holiday weekend. Thank you.
I love you guys. Onward, Notre Dame.
See ya. Man, I'm telling you. But Luis and Renee are their own pump-up crew. Irish for life, $5 hours. Shout out to Luis' son and G-Bank for their service. You guys rock. God bless. God bless the USA. $2 hour. Renee, do you even lift, bro? $2 hour. Renee skips leg day. Everybody's giving him a hard time. I heard John videos himself doing reps at the gym, gets mad when people walk into his shot. The gym I go to, there's signs everywhere. Every section has a sign that says no tripods, no recording. Absolutely not. It's the one thing I have not seen go wrong in this gym. I've seen the people with their shoes off all over. Everything else that I have no patience for. I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. All right, I'm getting out of here. Caden, sorry, this is a Notre Dame only episode, brother. I got you, though. Everybody be safe. Have fun. But just don't do anything stupid with those fireworks. I mean it. So really a mixed crowd today with some of the people that are off work able to join. You guys are great. From here, we're just going to build. It's just where we're in the ramp to camp. It's just going to get better and better. So enjoy your 4th of July before the football.
Bag up, bag up. Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord. Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry?
What you doing, Terry?